It's the National Football League on EA Sports. And if it's in the game, it's in the game. It's the Houston Texans and the Kansas City Chiefs. And it comes your way next.
From one of the loudest venues in the NFL, there's a look at Arrowhead Stadium here in Kansas City. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gunn, and Charles, kickoff moments away. Quickly, what are you watching in this one?
The offensive line for both teams, because both teams have a terrific pass rush. They've got to keep their passers upright. If they have a chance to do that, they can both thrive on offense and move the ball downfield.
Fairbairn to do the honors. And we are underway from Arrowhead. And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26. The KC offense set to go, led as always by the gunslinger, a former MVP in this league. It's Patrick Mahomes.
And when you think of Patrick Mahomes, you start to think about all of his attributes, and you realize very quickly, you can't just put him into one box. No matter how the game proceeds, no matter what is needed, he tends to have an answer for it and plays accordingly.
In motion goes the tight end. Throwing at the outset, here's Mahomes. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's second down.
And that certainly could be a sign of things to come, because they're blitzing to start this ball game, and it works for them there as they force the incomplete pass.
2nd and 10. They run it with Pacheco from the gun. And he'll be tackled at about the 35. 9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1.
That's the kind of run that gets everyone excited on offense. And, you know, oftentimes the guys who carry the ball are the ones in the huddle doing the chirping. Right now, I think it's the offensive line telling them, run it again. We are right there about to break a big one.
They'll try for the first with Pacheco. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. That'll go as a pickup of 8. 3rd and short, so didn't need much, but got a little extra on the backside. Nice run.
Chewed up the yardage, didn't he? To me, that was offensive line with leverage, good blocking angles, taking on a stacked defensive front. And once they chopped that little hole in the beginning, he took it and rambled.
And just the 3rd play from scrimmage, wanted to avoid the 3 and out and did just that. And incomplete, he dropped it. Maybe a rookie mistake there. 2nd down.
Looked like they had an opportunity for a big play across the middle, but he didn't have the concentration or the focus necessary and dropped it before he could haul it in.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. From the gun, it's Mahomes. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game. We were wondering what they would do defensively to disrupt Patrick Mahomes. Sacking him on the first drive, that's a really good way to set a tone.
The last thing you want to do is let him get established in the pocket where he can set his feet and throw wherever he wants to. Even though he does it well on the run and on the move, you definitely want to get him off the spot in the pocket.
After the sack, things get a little tougher here. 3rd and long for Mahomes and the Chiefs. Back to throw here. They'll set up the screen to Pacheco. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. Their opening drive here is going to result in a punt. They got 7 yards there, but not enough.
And that's a play that's not uncommon on 3rd and long, because the offense is just hoping that somehow they can get a guy in space and follow some blockers downfield. Does a pretty nice job there getting a few yards, but he ends up getting stopped before he can get the first down.
He'll send this one into the Midwestern air, and it's a good one. And a fair catch signaled for and taken at about the 18-yard line. So out come the Texans for their opening drive. At a glance here at their quarterback, standing 6'3".
I tell you what, when he's on schedule for that week, secondaries take notice because you've got to stay alert back there on every snap. A truly powerful arm, one that's capable of challenging any level of the defense on any given play. That's why so many scouts preach arm talent when preparing for the NFL draft. A quarterback with arm strength to make every throw in the book, he's an asset to have in any offense.
Rush coming, and he's taken down. That was Nick Bolton rushing in and burying him behind the line.
Okay, partner, a couple points of interest right here, all right? Offensively, we see that they came out throwing the football, but maybe more importantly, the blitz that came defensively, they got right after him.
And you were telling me pregame before we came on air, you think this is something we could see a lot?
Yeah, there's no doubt about it because this is a unit that wants to play the game on their terms.
After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. Here's Stroud. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
They decided the opportunity was there and launched a deep ball, but he was unable to get away from the defender, couldn't create space, couldn't uncover the end of the route, and that one winds up incomplete.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Stroud to throw it. Man open, that's complete to Dalton Schultz. Give him 19 on the play, but they will still come up a bit short, and now it's 4th down.
On 3rd down, you'll give them that. You just want to make sure that you play the 1st down line. They were able to get him down and force the punt.
The Texans send the punter out as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. That'll be a 43-yard punt, just a single yard on the return. And it's Chiefs football, 1st and 10. Kansas City taking the field for their 2nd drive. The last series for them, a little disappointing, forced to punt. And now they'll try to do better here and come away with some points as they begin this drive, 1st and 10. The hook up on the right side to Hopkins. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. Just need a yard here, 2nd and 1. Now Mahomes. Short throw hauled in by Kelsey. And Kelsey's going to have a Chiefs 1st down as he's up to the 40-yard line. It's a gain of 4 there, and it gives him a new set of downs.
When an offense reads blitz, doesn't matter where it's coming from, tight ends know that they become a big part of the passing game because they should be an easy outlet when all those extra bodies are trying to get to the quarterback. A hot route, so to speak.
Well, this one complete. It's Rashee Rice. And they get to him after a gain of 6 to the 46. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on 1st quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn it into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
Well, they nearly sprung him that time as he takes this all the way down to the 37. 1st down for the Chiefs. Solid chunk of yardage, 17 on the play.
How best to describe that one? I'd say right down Broadway on that run.
A straight ahead running. I think that might be something we see a lot of between the tackles today.
Well, he's enjoying things so far here this afternoon. Sees a crease and bursts through it for a solid gain.
Ball hit as he throws there, incomplete.
They're bringing a lot of pressure here already in the 1st quarter. Already sacked him once. How to get in there and knock another one away. You think maybe that Tucker rule being gone makes defenses a lot bolder?
Yes, indeed. That time, lucky that the arm was going forward, incomplete pass. They'll bring the tight end in motion right. Here's Mahomes to throw. Complete. The tight end, Kelsey. And he will take it on in for a Chiefs touchdown. Travis Kelce, 37 yards. And the Chiefs get the upper hand as they're on the board first here this afternoon.
For a big tight end, he can sure move like a slot receiver when he gets a head of steam going. And as a defensive back, you've got a big decision to make when he's moving like that.
Harrison Butker is on for the extra point. And his kick is good to make it 7-0 KC. That time a 6-play drive. And it culminates in a Travis Kelce touchdown. Here's the Chiefs kickoff unit now as they'll send this one away. And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. So now we get set to see Houston for their second drive of the ball game. And a 3-and-out on that first drive. We'll see if they can do better here.
They should have a better opportunity because the nerves should be settled now. That first series, everybody goes out with a little extra emotion. So now they get a chance to go back out and say, okay, now we're into the game. Let's go play and play as best we can.
You almost get a mulligan then on that first drive?
Sometimes it absolutely serves that way. You get a second opportunity. Nothing big happened. But then again, you didn't commit any mistakes either. Off you go.
Got it here at the 29 on 2nd and 8. Now Stroud. He dumps this off underneath. Here's Davis. Calling a gain of 3 on the play. And it brings up 3rd and 5 now.
And that's a good job there by the corner. We do talk about this a lot, that a lot of corners see their job as simply covering receivers. Tackling isn't everyone's thing. But in this case, he came up quickly and made a nice, sure tackle.
Throwing now is Stroud. He's got his target. That's complete. And he'll go out of bounds, it looks like, right at the 40. He gets 7 out of it, and he also gets a first.
Another catch for him there on this drive, Brandon, and it looks like they're going to utilize him out of the backfield any way they can. And that time they pick up a first down. So now on defense, do you assign a man to him and try and cover him before he gets going?
They'll run here with a rookie. And it'll be a minimum pickup here as it will take us to the end of the first quarter. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. Texans football to start quarter 2 as they've got it 2nd and 7. Back to throw. Here's Stroud. They get this into the hands of Nico Collins. And he'll be brought down with a first down as the tackle's made at the Chiefs' 40. Give them 17 on the pickup there, and the Texans also get a new set of downs. So now 1st and 10 in Chiefs territory, right at the 40. Play action. Here's Stroud. And they're able to get this one past the 30 to the 25-yard line. The escapability in evidence there as that one good for 15 and a first.
I think the last 2 plays really illustrate how difficult it is to game plan against this guy because you know he can throw the football. But how about his use of legs as well? What we call those broken plays, you can't account for them.
Yeah, those plays, those 2 that you just mentioned, a microcosm really of how he can hurt you. So give him 5 yards there on the pitch and catch, and it'll be 2nd down. Inside give to Davis. And he'll take this inside the 20 and down to the 18. 3 yards is half of what they needed. Now can they get the other 3 here on third down?
When a drive goes this long, you have to give a lot of credit to the guys up front, those big fellas, because the offensive line is putting something together that allows them to continue to control the ball. I know a lot of people think they get fatigued on a long drive. Actually, a lot of times the reverse happens. They actually get energized because they're controlling the ball and they're the ones dictating to.
And he's in. Touchdown, Houston. An 18-yard touchdown run. And the Texans are an extra point away from drawing level. And when they called that play, I'm not sure they expected it to go all the way to the end zone. Nice little reward, though.
Without a doubt, and sometimes I think the offensive line gets a little bit more inspiration when they know that guy's going to get the ball because he doesn't touch it very often. They want to reward him for all that good blocking he does as well.
Kaimi Fairbairn on for the extra point. It's up and good, and we're tied at 7 here in quarter number 2. That time, a 9-play drive. And a nice play on the end of it, an 18-yard touchdown run. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. KC's offense ready to take over. A long drive last time out for this offense, Charles. If you remember, they started basically in the shadows of their own end zone, marched it down the field, and a lot of that was through the passing game.
And, partner, as a former defensive back, I'm having almost a physical reaction watching what's happening right now. But let's give credit where it's due because they've done an excellent job moving the ball through the air. Secondary getting picked apart pass by pass. Obviously, they need to make some adjustments there on the back end.
Yeah, because offensively, we know that they're not going to be shy about throwing that football. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. In motion, the tight end, Kelsey. Now here's Mahomes. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Rice. And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll leave him with a second and just a few inches left.
As long as you go through your proper reads and progressions, the drag route can be one of those old reliable plays because usually it's good for a good chunk of yardage as we just saw there.
And those guys like it, right? They can get the ball with a full head of steam.
Especially against man coverage because man coverage, they're typically running away from someone and not worried about traffic coming out on the other end.
Quick throw, knocked away, and incomplete.
Quarterbacks work all the time on manipulating a defense with their eyes and their head movement. In this case, he just stared the receiver down. That allowed for excellent coverage, able to knock that one away.
An incomplete pass on 2nd down leads us to 3rd and inches. Running left to give to Pacheco. And he's got the 1st down yardage as he brings this up to the 47.
On 3rd down, that's a good job of situational football and understanding where the 1st down marker was and getting there.
A couple of 1st downs on the drive already as they'll go from the 47 now on 1st down. In motion, the tight end, Kelsey. Looking to throw is Mahomes. It's Kelsey on the ground. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on 1st down.
And he's the epitome of what we call the move tight end. A guy that you can line up anywhere. In the slot, out wide, in tight. Doesn't really matter because he has such great skills. You want to utilize him in all aspects of your passing offense.
And there he was in the slot for the catch. To throw, it's Mahomes. This is caught inside the 15. And he takes this into the end zone for a Chiefs touchdown. Rashee Rice, 44 yards. And the Chiefs have taken the lead. And I think I saw that right. You tell me if I'm wrong. That was just a fly route, just to go. He went.
Sometimes speed, just pure speed, is going to win. I don't care how athletic you are on the other side of the ball. When a guy's that fast and he can just take off, if the quarterback has time to throw the ball and release it when he wants to, that's the end result. Nothing you could do about that. He was just a better athlete on that play.
Extra point by Butker is on target.
And that makes the score 14-7. So the drive there took 6 plays. And it's capped off with a Kansas City touchdown. Here's the Chiefs kickoff unit now as they'll send this one away.
And out a little across the 25 to the 27.
And the Texans set to come onto the field.
After that last score we just saw, now 14-7, so a chance to march down the field here, try to tie this football game.
Game clock at 2:01. Time for one final play before the 2-minute warning.
Stroud.
He's got it complete to Stephon Diggs.
And he takes this up to the 40-yard line before being corralled.
Coming up at halftime in a little less than 2 minutes, we'll send you to Orlando where Jonathan Coachman is standing by. He'll have highlights and analysis of this first half.
Stroud looking to throw.
A short one going to be taken in here by Schultz. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. The catch and run good for 18 and a first down.
Zone coverage here defensively. They're going to let their tight end run a drag across the field. This is where a linebacker gets forced to pass him off. That time, the receiver gets lost a little bit, and he's able to make the catch and pick up good yardage in a first down.
Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down.
And Stroud now to throw.
He's got the connection over the middle to Diggs. And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30. 11 more yards that go around, a first down as well.
Well, so far, little to no resistance by the defense on this drive alone. 3 passes, 3 completions, 3 first downs. They're taking it to him, and it's paying off.
The throwing again is Stroud. Getting this ball out wide for Davis.
It'll be a gain of 5, and it'll be second down. So a decent gain there, but not their 4th consecutive first down like they had on the first 3 plays.
You sound almost disappointed there. You want to fire the offensive coordinator on that one or what?
They'd gotten into a rhythm. I thought they were just going to keep going.
Well, almost a win for the defense, but if that's your win, you're not doing very well right now.
And that one off the mark behind him, incomplete.
To this point, I've been impressed with the work defensively. They have not allowed a lot of receivers to run free. And there's another example, another incompletion.
They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. Back to throw again. And Diggs has it. And he'll be brought down with a first down as the tackle's made at the Chiefs' 16. Now a timeout called for by the offense as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number 1.
So the ball down to the 16 here for 1st and 10. Here goes Stroud again.
And he's going to find his man out of the backfield. That's complete. Now the Texans will use one of their 2 remaining timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half.
Here's 2nd and 1 now from the 7.
They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. And he's going to go down. Sacked back at the 13-yard line.
Michael Dana
just would not be denied. That's a loss of 7. Well, this has been a pretty sizable drive. They've had some success. Finally, the defensive coordinator found some success of his own.
I think he just simply said enough of that. Okay, they've moved the ball well. We need to force the issue from our end, and that's exactly what he did.
Out of the huddle now for play number 9 on this drive. This is 3rd down and 8.
Stroud working out of the gun.
Under pressure again, and down he goes again.
Loss of 10 as multiple defenders get to it.
And we're going to get a timeout with 2 seconds remaining in the second quarter. So with 2 ticks left here in the half, on is the field goal unit. From the right hash, this from an even 40 yards out. Fairbairn able to put this one through, and that will do it for this first half.
So we've come upon halftime here in KC with the Chiefs on top. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
We were treated to an excellent first half from the gunslinger, Patrick Mahomes. He fired his guys into the lead with 2 first-half touchdown passes as they were looking like a well-oiled machine in the first half of play.
Okay, Coach, yeah, adjustments likely going to play a big role in this third quarter in what's been a tight contest so far.
The Texans down on the scoreboard, but they do get the first crack here as we are back underway in the second half.
And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28. The Texans going to take over here to start quarter number 3. And Charles, some things to like about that first half, ultimately trailing here, but certainly this deficit is manageable. So curious to see what adjustments they may have made at intermission.
As am I, because I think things bode well for a possible comeback, because I thought a lot of their best reps in the first half came through the passing game. They were hitting the open receivers, taking whatever the coverage gave them and making it work well for themselves. Now, they just want to pick up the pace of scoring a little bit. So I expect them to come out and continue to throw the ball effectively.
Here's Stroud. Short throw into the hands of Jordan.
And they'll get to him after a gain of 7 to the 47.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion that would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion, but I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication, and as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating, there he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. That burst good for 20 and a first down. Pretty explosive run on that inside handoff, and when you're a runner of his caliber, you don't need a big crease.
You really don't, but also what we're seeing is an offensive line that's taking charge at the point of attack, aren't we? Not only are they controlling the initial contact, they're actually utilizing what they call the strain, the next 2 to 3 seconds, to continue to move people.
That's underneath to Pierce.
And he's going to get this down near the 20-yard line. Another nice gain. That's now 30 yards between those last 2 plays.
I love the drive they're working on here because they know they can take the lead with a touchdown. And so far on this drive, so good. They've moved the ball down the field with very little resistance defensively. But they better be prepared for some adjustments to come their way now.
Play action. Stroud now.
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
It was Leo Chanel who got in to drop him.
And this dominant defensive performance continued on that play. This poor quarterback has not received the protection he needs and has had to pick himself up off the turf far too often.
And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19.
Stroud to throw it. Short throw into the hands of Jordan.
And he'll be out of bounds as he gets this down to about the 21 or 22. Now play number 7 of the drive as they're looking at a 3rd and 10. Looking to throw. Stroud. It's caught by Davis. And they're going to get him down well short of the first as he can only get this to about the 19. 3 yards, all they could muster there, and it'll bring up 4th down.
How about that strategy there, Brandon? 3rd down. They just said, we've got faith in our tacklers. We'll give you the short stuff, and just decided to protect the sticks. So every time I hear fans telling me tackling's not a part of the game anymore, plays like that, I can clip and save and show them you have to tackle well if you want to be a good defense.
So they were facing the deficit coming out of the locker room at intermission, and at least they're able to get the field goal to cut into that deficit.
Yeah, now your offense feels pretty good about itself, right? A little bit more up to speed coming out of the break. You turn to your defense now and say, hey, we got 3 there. We're chipping into the lead. Can you help us out? Hold them. Let's get the ball back for us.
And they will wrangle him down a couple yards shy of the 30.
So here's the Chiefs offense ready for their first reps in half number 2. Mahomes will lead the Chiefs up 1st and 10 at their own 28-yard line. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive.
And that is incomplete. Oh, the coverage a little too good there, and it's 2nd down.
This has certainly been a physical game so far. Limited scoring opportunities for both sides. And there's another chance that goes unfulfilled.
A 3rd quarter now, a 1-point game as they line up 2nd and 10.
From the gun, it's Mahomes. He finds Hopkins complete. And they'll wind up getting this to the 37. Gain of 9. I see an extra defensive back on the field. Little surprise here on 3rd and 1. In motion, the tight end, Kelsey. Mahomes now to throw.
Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he will have a Chiefs first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
And that's well executed there on 3rd down. And I love the confidence that they had to let their tight end try and find some space in the middle of the field, right in their quarterback's line of vision. And QBs love to make that easy throw, and they hooked up there for a first down.
On 1st and 10, here's Pacheco.
And he goes across midfield and down into Houston territory. Called out a gain of 5 as the clock ticks inside of 2 minutes to go now in the 3rd.
Brandon, 5 yards on that run. Let's get back to the huddle and make sure if you're a back, you spend time with your offensive line and give them credit. Hard to move those 300-plus pounders at the line of scrimmage, and they did for a significant chunk of yardage.
Pacheco gets it again on 2nd down.
And he's going to get this one down near the 45-yard line. Just a couple on the pickup there, and now it's 3rd down.
This is what happens sometimes when you abandon the running game. It's hard to get back to it because once guys get out of that mentality of firing out and hitting people, hard to get them started again occasionally.
This now a 3rd and 4.
Throwing now is Mahomes.
Able to find the open man. That's complete.
And he's going to be taken down with another first down as the stop's made at the Texans' 32-yard line. They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs.
So he turned to a trusted, familiar face in that 3rd down situation. It paid off.
Yeah, you go to your veteran receiver in that spot, so you can't underestimate him when he's on the field. Defensively, make sure you know where he is because he understands how to get open in key situations.
Will Anderson gets to him for the tackle.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard.
2nd and 5.
Now Mahomes. And he's got his man in stride, complete. And he will take it on in for a Chiefs touchdown.
Isaiah Pacheco
27 yards.
And the Chiefs are able to extend their lead in the final seconds of this third quarter.
Getting your back involved, what's the importance there in the passing game?
Well, oftentimes you can create mismatches because who's going to cover him, and you get him into space, which is where he likes to operate with the ball in his hands. Oftentimes makes people miss, gets that run after the catch, and off he goes.
And into the end zone. Butker now to add the extra point. And with that, the lead is up to 8. So that drive in total 8 plays. And it winds up with the Chiefs hitting pay dirt. Here's the Chiefs kickoff unit now as they'll send this one away.
And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6. We're back now in KC. It's Texans football, but they trail here as we get started in the fourth quarter.
Back to throw. Here's Stroud.
It's complete to Diggs. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. A big one there for the Texans, 18 yards.
And that's a much-needed first down right there. Look, they're down by 8. So logic says they don't have to get a touchdown out of this drive. But the way things are going, I don't know if I'd put it in the hands of my defense here. You might not get the ball back at all. So if a fourth down situation comes up, I'm thinking hard about going for it right here and right now.
Play action. Here's Stroud.
Sliding out of the pocket. And he'll protect himself at the end here as he winds up getting pretty decent yardage. Nice work to get 7 out of that, and it's second down.
I like how he hung in there and went through his progressions, but eventually his internal clock went off and told him it was time to make a run for it, and he ends up sliding down with a solid gain.
Here's 2nd and 3. Throwing now is Stroud.
A short one going to be taken in here by Schultz. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
I know exactly what's going to be said about that play from the defensive perspective.
What's that?
That's why I tell all you guys we need more than one tackler to the ball. He broke the first tackle. Luckily enough, there were more people there to get him down.
Now Stroud. The throw here right sideline falls incomplete.
Well, they've been back on their heels a little bit here on this drive, but a chance to exhale just a little bit there with incompletion on first down. Now they have to gear up, try and get 2 more stops, and escape this drive.
Now a 2nd and 10. Stroud out of the gun here.
And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And he'll be brought down with a first down as the tackle's made at the Chiefs' 25-yard line. Texans passing game in rhythm right now, picking up another first.
Now that was pretty. They executed that curl route versus zone coverage, and that changes things a little bit because against man, it's often a tight curl, a tight, sharply run route. Against zone, you're just looking for that open spot, that dead area, so you may curl it a little bit wider just to get to that place.
And usually a tight window. He fired a bullet in there for the completion.
Again, it's Stroud. Over the middle, he gets it to Collins.
That will go as a pickup of 7 on the 7th play of the drive.
Second down and 3. Stroud. Now a quick throw there, but it's going to be incomplete.
Here comes play number 9 now as they come up on a 3rd and 3.
Stroud looking to throw. He's got his target. That's complete. And the Texans are going to have 1st and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points.
Well, they've had a great, impressive drive going here, and that pickup ensures the drive continues.
And not only do you continue the drive, which is demoralizing for the guys on the defensive side of the ball right now, but you make your own defense happy. They're able to get a little more rest over on the sidelines while this one continues downfield.
A shotgun snap to Stroud. And that's to the left sideline and incomplete.
The coverage keyed in on him since that last completion his way. He earned a little more attention on that route, and that made it a lot tougher to get a clean throw his way.
They'll go again here from the 10-yard line on 2nd and goal.
And Stroud now to throw.
And it's caught. Touchdown!
Nico Collins
from 10 yards out.
And the Texans have a chance to tie things up as they trail by 2 here in the 4th. So part 1 of what they needed is done. They get in the end zone. Now you have to imagine we'll see a try for 2.
And that's what the book says, but defensively, they can't hang their head right here. They still got a chance to come out with the lead if they make a play.
A big spot now for the Texans as they'll try for 2.
Stroud's going to try to throw for the conversion.
And he's got it. The conversion good, and we are tied in the 4th. Still time to work with on the clock, but they wanted the tie now, and they got it.
And I love their aggressiveness. Go ahead and get it done. Get the game tied. Now your team has the momentum, and you're staring across the field saying, let's see if you can match us.
Now this one setting up for a great finish. All tied in the 4th as the kick's away.
Fighting through at the 25.
And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29. The Chiefs offense and Patrick Mahomes headed back onto the field. And we'll take you through some of the highlights here. You'll notice he had a hand in a lot of them so far. He's got this offense rolling right now. The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. They no longer have the lead after that last touchdown, all tied up in the 4th quarter, and a chance for this offense to mount a potential game-winning drive right here. And a great job there to read that one defensively. They strung him out, would not allow him to cut upfield.
A solid run on 1st down, gain of 7, leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
Give to P. Ryan on the option.
And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield.
With his size, he's a tough man to bring down, but they do a nice job there stopping his progress and not allowing him to get back to the line of scrimmage.
Getting down to the good stuff. All tied with 2 minutes remaining on EA Sports.
So the Chiefs in possession of the ball as we welcome you back. And they're facing a big 3rd down now in this tie ball game. Mahomes going to throw.
Finding Kelsey. And he will have a Chiefs 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
I like what they did there, still keeping their tight ends involved. They understand it's not quite Hail Mary time just yet.
Plenty of time. All 3 timeouts still remain. Here's 1st and 10 now. Mahomes.
Over the middle, that's caught by Rice. I don't know that those medium 5-ish yard gains are going to do it right now. Probably should have dropped it, right?
Yeah, that way you save more time on the clock, but I know receivers, they think they can catch it and break a tackle and turn it into a big gain.
Here's 2nd down and 3. Mahomes.
Pitch and catch here to Travis Kelce. The Chiefs now going to use the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with just over a minute to go in the game.
Here's 1st down. Mahomes. That's caught. It's Xavier Worthy.
Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts as they get it with under a minute to go now in the football game.
Two timeouts still available in this final minute. It's 1st and 10 now. Headed straight, it's Pacheco.
Now the Texans will use one of their 2 remaining timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds left to go in the game.
Here comes 2nd down and 5. Here's Pacheco once again.
And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22.
Well, here's a big one. You can just feel it. This is 3rd down now. Here's Pacheco headed right.
And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. Probably had 60,000 thinking pass right there, including us in the booth.
Yeah, no doubt about it. That was a big call, big guts on that one. And guess what? That run, it'll pay dividends.
Now 1st and goal. They'll run here with Pacheco.
And he maneuvers his way down to the 3-yard line.
Hat tip to that offensive line. They're clearing some holes, even down here deep in the red zone. And that's a nice pickup on the ground on 1st and goal.
And we are set for a great finish as that timeout comes in with 2 seconds to go in this football game. Everything right now resting on the right foot of Harrison Butker. 2 seconds on the clock. This for the win. And it is good. He splits the uprights on the chip shot. And they'll be celebrating in the Power and Light District. The Chiefs have won the football game.
So no shortage of offense in this game, but a very clean game too, Charles. Each side got its points, but they did so without committing a single turnover.
That's so true, and it certainly felt like NFL football at its finest, right? You talk about the highest level from both of these offenses. Neither one of them afraid of taking risks, and both of them aggressively pushing it downfield. I did like, Brandon, how smart they were about going about their business, though. They were high-flying, but they took care of the ball.
Yeah, they did, and just keeping it clean in a game like this with all these points, you don't see that very often, even at the highest level. Job well done by both sides.
Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Alongside Charles Davis, we thank our entire crew. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This is the NFL on EA Sports.